Just a little bit more about myself. I am a proud mama of 4, a grandmother. I've been married over 25 years. I worked in corporate at Discover Card for over 10 years. And then, as you know, in my description there, I did speech therapy also in schools for over 12 years. And one of the things that I found is that stress and anxiety, as most of us know, is at its all-time high in the world, and it's really impacting adults and kids, how they show up with confidence. So I decided to transition and to be an emotional wellness and leadership coach. And doing so, one of the topics, because today is on Rise, starting our new year, one of the ways that we can really rise and just thrive and show up in confidence is discovering our values and what's important to us. So today I'm going to dive deep on what that is, and we're all going to take a short assessment so you can discover your 5 top values. So has anyone ever taken like a value assessment or know their values? Okay. So this one might be a little different, but it's just great to start the new year with a reset. And when most of us think of our values, we think of our core values. But today we're going to talk about our deep-rooted values on what's important to us, because it really determines which people, things, and goals and decisions that really align with our true self. So when we lack not knowing our values, we become more anxious, and we can even hold resentment for ourselves and other people. For ourselves, because we're not sure why we wake up in the morning or how we're driving our decisions, and other people because we may be living their values instead of our own. So what values does, it helps you, like your inner, I call it my inner GPS. It helps you feel more confident in your decisions. It helps you listen to your intuition, your gut feeling, and it defines your version of success. Make choices that really match your overall vision on how you want to lead in the world. So when taking this assessment, on the next slide, I'm going to give you a QR code that you can upload the assessment, and just 2 questions to keep in mind as you take it. When you wake up in the morning, what values make and drive your decisions? And what is important to you that really drives your behavior? So here's the QR code. It might take a minute to bring up, and I'll just walk around to make sure that you have it. I'm going to go over kind of what the assessment looks like to make sure I answer any questions. Does everyone have the link up? Okay. We're good? Okay. So you should come to a screen that looks, oh yeah. Okay. So when you bring up your assessment, I know it might look a little different because you're on your phone. This is going to have you select 10 values. So only 10, it shouldn't allow you to select more. So you're just going to pick 10 words that really are important to you, and don't overthink it, just the 10 words that really stand out. And over here, you'll see like a description button. So if you're not sure, you want more details on what that word means, you can click on it and it'll give you the description, kind of like a definition of what that is. And then you'll click continue after you get your 10 words selected. Once you get your 10 words selected, you'll be prompted this screen, and it'll only give you 2 options. And it's going to have you pick out of the 2, the one that is most important to you out of the 2. And you'll know when you're close to done, because this gold line will just kind of, it's like a fuel, it'll just kind of go all the way to the top. So it'll be like a fuel gauge. And then when you're done, you'll get your 5 top values. Does anyone have any questions? We're good to go. Oh, yeah. Our values will guide us to make decisions based on what's important to us. It helps you just be awake and live in today instead of like subconsciously kind of on autopilot or not even aware of why you do the things that you do. So our values are like filters. So we use our values to decide how we feel about our actions. They influence our decisions and our destiny. Values are created by our beliefs, our thoughts, like what we read, our environment, what we think about. They're also engraved from our upbringing, from childhood, or you've established them on your own. So just identifying what your values are today, now you can really identify for the life that you want to live today, what is important to you and how you can match your values with what you want to do in life. So values are a great motivator force for me. It's like when I wake up in the morning to what I want to do and how I want to live, but also to make massive impact in the life you want to lead. So they motivate us to do the things that we want to do, and it's our why. Values can lead you toward or away from the desired outcome that you want to live. So safety and security is a great value, but it's also a great example of how it can lead you away from an outcome that you desire, because safety and security may be something that you would need to take a risk for an opportunity on an outcome that you desire. But because you value safety and security, you might not take that risk. Therefore, you might not have the opportunity for the desired goal or outcome that you want. So it's understanding what drives you, and so you can reflect on that. Or say health, if that is your value, then that is a great example of how it leads you towards your value. So if health is something that's important to you, then in the morning, you know that like health is on your to-do list as priority. It's non-negotiable. Most people that take health, that it's important to them, they're exercising, they're meal prepping, and they just make it a non-negotiable thing in their day. Emotional states are feelings linked to behaviors. So everything we do is based on our feelings. So our feelings dictate everything we do. So for example, my value is meaningful work. So in meaningful work, it requires you to do public speaking. Does anyone get nervous public speaking? Yeah, so so if I was to allow like social anxiety, fear of judgment, or being uncomfortable on stage, then your heart racing or you're sweaty, or just all the inner bully thoughts, racing thoughts that might happen. If I was to allow that to dictate my behavior, then I wouldn't take opportunities to meet all of you. I wouldn't have opportunities to do like retreats and have a podcast and do all the trainings that I do. So I have to get clear on the feeling that I want to anchor in and allow that to drive my values. So knowing my values, meaningful work, if I have an opportunity, I'll say, Tab, I talk to myself, I'll say, Tab, is this a way for you to do meaningful work? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going to work through the uncomfortable feelings of anxiety or whatever that feeling is to work towards my value. And that's how it can drive your decisions and provide you the outcome that you want. So it's great to just have it like posted somewhere. Like for mine, it's like in my office. Some people keep it as their screensaver. And whenever they're making decisions, they look at their values and they use that as their inner compass. So when your values are met, you achieve your desired emotional state. So there's some, I call it like, this is, what do you do next? Self-work. I am going to provide everyone with this to just take home. You can do it on yourself because it's really personal. And it allows you to write your 5 values down and then really reflect on the habits or action steps, strategies that you really want to take to embody these values, because this is what's important to you. And it's also great to know your family's values or people that you have relationships with. Like I know, I have a friend, her values is like justice. So whenever we go out, she'll say, oh, you drove last time, let me drive this time. Or if I paid the bill, she'll remember, you paid last time, or you got the appetizer, let me do this, because her values is like fairness. So everything, all her decisions, she's always thinking about that, where that's not something I'm thinking about. So it helps you have a better relationship with your loved ones. This is something you can do with all of them. And I'm gonna pass this out in a moment, but I just wanted to open the floor to answer any questions that you may have.